What's up, guys? We have a 4-game NBA slate for November 7th, and starting off at point guard, at the top, I think Kemba Walker might get some interest just because of the revenge factor, but really, the price is up for him, and Boston's getting back Jaylen Brown for this game. So I think that Kemba Walker, this price is a little bit too high for what we've seen him do. Yes, he has 60-point upside, I would say, but that's with probably like Tatum out or something. But all the Celtics are healthy except their bigs, but the Celtics bigs, except for Canner, they're usually not the high usage guys. So Kemba Walker at 9.3K, even though going back at Charlotte with the narrative, I think it is a little bit overpriced. Not something that I'm going to do in cash. GPP, sure, you can take a shot if you're playing multiple lineups. I'd rather take a shot with Damian Lillard, who is a little bit cheaper, who is the main guy here with not a lot of other supporting pieces around him, only CJ McCollum and just pretty much shooters. So I like Lillard here against the Clippers team, who is on a back-to-back, getting back Kawhi Leonard, but these starters like Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell played really heavy minutes. They played 39. Pat Bev played 35. So Damian Lillard he was off today, so I think he is in a better spot than Kemba Walker here, even against a tough Clippers defense. Next, these guys in this range just seem a little bit overpriced for me. Lou Will, 6,600. Probably not going to want to go back to him with Kawhi coming back. I think these guys are just not in the best matchups. Patrick Beverly, maybe 4.9K, just because he's the type of guy that has such a good motor. Not a guy that's going to really take a day off. He's a guy that's going to be consistently able to produce even on back-to-backs, play some heavy minutes, and he's going to be needed out here to guard Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. So 4.9 for the kind of upside that he has, rebounding and of course ball handling, and the defensive stats makes for a pretty solid value play. And then if you go down, Patty Mills, 3.7K. Derek White is currently questionable with a lower body injury. Patty Mills might be a little bit popular today because of Derek White if he were to miss. But looking back at the game logs for the Spurs, the last time that Dejounte Murray missed was against the Warriors on the back-to-back. And the way that the Spurs managed that was that they just played DeMarre Carroll more minutes. And they usually can run like an 11-man rotation. And when Murray does not rest, like a normal game, like most recently against the Lakers, they just run more Marco Bellinelli out there. Carroll sometimes still plays a few minutes, but really the main beneficiary, it's probably DeMarre Carroll, who gets more minutes, but he's not a fantasy or a good fantasy producer. So really the move doesn't really affect Patty Mills that much, maybe like a few extra minutes, but really not much there. As you can see in the past game logs, the minutes really didn't move much. So certainly 3.7K, you could do worse without a guy like White, who does handle the ball quite a bit. Mills probably gets more opportunity, but if he's going to be too popular, probably going to be somebody that I'm going to fade. Moving on to shooting guard. Booker's okay, but he probably is going to see some Jimmy Butler defense. DeMar DeRozan, just a really consistent player, gets you 30s, 40s, but there really isn't much upside because he is a mid-range player. He doesn't shoot threes, so there's kind of a cap to his upside. I'd much rather play a guy like Jimmy Butler, 7.2K. In a match against the Suns, he just seems a little bit too cheap. The past games have been blowouts. He just returned from his wife having a child, so he's back now. His price is down against a pretty nice matchup against the Suns. Suns have been good this year to start, but Jimmy Butler, we know what he can do. He's a guy that can play both sides of the ball, gets you a lot of defensive stats, so that gives you a nice floor. And he hasn't really shot well at all, but he's still producing really good numbers fantasy-wise. So I really like Jimmy Butler here at 7.2K. Next, I think you can save a little bit if you want a piece of this Blazers and Clippers game, which I suggest that you do have because it is only a 4-game slate. CJ McCollum, significantly cheaper than Dame Lillard, 3K discount here. Guess the same matchup probably is going to see like Landry Shamet or someone else. Beverly's going to be on Dame. So CJ McCollum, he gets the same kind of ball handling. Not as much, obviously, when they share the court, but when the minutes stagger, when Damian Lillard gets his rest towards the end of the first, start of the second, CJ McCollum's going to be out there doing most of the ball handling. So McCollum, 6.1K in a what should be a pretty high scoring matchup here. I like that for the price. And then going down, Kendrick Nunn, 5.2K, more scoring dependent. He had one game where he lost minutes, played only 19, but that was because of foul trouble. So he should be one of the guys that does see some consistent minutes, even with all these guys being back, like James Johnson, Justice Winslow, a lot of those Heat guys who are healthy now. Deion Waiters, still don't know what's going on with him. But Kendrick Nunn has had a terrific start this season. Even though he's been pretty scoring dependent, he has definitely produced a lot, and this price seems a little bit cheap. Probably should be up closer to 6K, so don't mind him, but not necessarily a cash play. And pretty much it for shooting guard. Small forward, Kawhi Leonard, I think he is the top play of the slate. He is the most expensive player on the slate, but rightfully so. He did not play on Wednesday, so he should be fresh for Thursday. Lowell and Harrell played heavy minutes, 39 the night before, so Kawhi's gonna be definitely relied upon a lot this game, and I think we can definitely see him hit over 50 DraftKings points. Gonna be the stud. Gonna be really chalky because he is the most expensive player on a short slate, but I think he definitely deserves a lot of consideration in your lineups. Going down, not gonna really chase Gordon Hayward's big game. Gallinari's just not been the kind of player. Oubre's in kind of a slow, tough matchup. Jaylen Brown's back, but he's a little bit too scoring dependent for me. Winslow's ball handling is not going to be there with Butler, Dragic, a lot of those guys healthy. So going down here, I think a guy like Rodney Hood, who has had some injuries recently, but he's playing really nice minutes, 30 plus every single game. The least he's got is 12.5 last game. He just didn't shoot well. The whole Blazers team was not good against that game where they lost the Warriors, but definitely I think that's more of an outlier. He is a guy that is a very good scorer, and he should see close to double-digit shots every game, and he gets you a few rebounds. He's a small forward, so he's going to be out there playing 30-plus minutes, 3.8K, where definitely defense is going to be focusing on the guards. Rodney Hood should be in the corner for those threes, and I think that he is a pretty nice value play. I think I prefer to play him over Patty Mills, actually. I think if Mills' ownership really does creep up there with Derek White out, I'm going to have a lot more Rodney Hood than Mills. Moving on to power forward, the only option that I see here is LaMarcus Aldridge. 6.9K against the Thunder. He has not been the best to start the season, but he does play better at home. He hasn't really shot the ball that well, but we know that he is a better rebounder than 5 a game, so he should be getting more rebounds than that. He's a really talented scorer around the rim, post-ups, mid-range, everything. Really talented. As long as the game stays close, he's playing at home. 6.9K seems a little bit too cheap for a guy with Aldridge's talent. Harrell, 6.2K. I think that you can still take a shot on him, but he did play heavy minutes once again, back-to-back, so gotta watch out for that. But still, Harrell, 6.2K, even at back-to-back. He is kind of cheap. Not going to be someone that I'm going to lock in on my lineups with, like tonight with Kawhi out, but I think he still has some interest. Myers Leonard, a little bit intrigued, but with Kelly Olynyk back, James Johnson, all those guys, it's kind of a risky play there. Same with Olynyk, obviously. Even though they're cheap, I just think the minutes are not going to be consistent, so we can't really trust that. And then moving on to center, Bam Adebayo, most expensive play, but I think this is going to be an excellent play. One of my favorites as well. I think the spot against Aaron Baines, Adebayo's is a lot more athletic, and because of the blowouts, he didn't get his minutes, and if he got his minutes up into the mid-30s, definitely is going to be hitting value, and his price is down now, so I think this game being in Phoenix, they've been playing really well, actually, the Suns, so I think Bam is a pretty good candidate for a double-double. He actually is a very good assist guy for center, and we know that he can contribute defensively as well. So I like this play at 7K. Just seems too cheap. And then a GPP play, maybe a pivot off of Bam, is Hassan Whiteside, 6.4K. The Clippers do go small with Montrezl Harrell at the center, but I think Whiteside is going to be very interesting, even though his minutes are not there. He is a really good fantasy producer, even in limited time. So mid-high 20s is what we should see every game out of Whiteside as long as he's out of foul trouble. But the Clippers, we like to target bigs, especially centers, against these Clippers, and Hassan Whiteside he just fits that build. He's a guy that can get you a double-double, is a pretty good shot blocker, as long as he stays out of foul trouble on like Kawhi Leonard, Lou Will, Harold drives, and all of that. He is a pretty nice tournament play at 6.4K. So overall on this slate, my favorite play is going to be Kawhi Leonard. I think you're going to want another piece of this game from the Blazers side, so I'm going to try to take the savings and get CJ since I'm paying up for Kawhi. So I'll plug him in at point guard. Shooting guard, I really like Jimmy Butler. And then center, Bam, one of my favorite plays as well. And because I think that you can fit Aldridge, I'm going to go with him here. And then that leaves you 4.4K. A guy you can look at is Rodney Hood and also Patty Mills. But these are going to be my 5 favorite plays. I'd say that Kawhi's my favorite play, and then it's going to be Bam and Jimmy. They're close. I'm just going to go with Bam because of the position. It's a little bit more scarce at center. So Kawhi, Bam, and then Jimmy and CJ and LaMarcus. So that is the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below. I also leave a comment if you have any questions. You can also find my Twitter in the description below at BobFoles. And you can follow me on there, at me, DM me, anything. I'll answer any questions that you guys may have. And good luck on this slate. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and peace.